So today's verse will be verse number 17. Upendro Vamanah Pramshuhu Amoho Sushirurjitaha Atindraha Sangraha Sargo Dhritatmani Yamo Yamaha. So let us see each nama, what these namas gives us an understanding and how these namas are much more related with the gunas and also which is very much related to us to reflect our own gunas or the positive gunas what we need to develop. So the first nama here, Upendro. Upa Indraha Upendraha. Upa means there are two ways of understanding Upa. Upa means allied or Upa means superior. Upper means allied or Upa means superior. Two ways you can interpret. If you go with the word, it is allied or supportive. Allied means we can say supportive. Allied forces are called supportive forces. So nature is a supportive force. In big war, there are so many people who support. In the Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, there is Krishna who is supportive for Pandavas. And for the Gaurava Sena, Narayana Sena was supporting. So we can understand Upendra means here, one who supports. Now, Upa Indraha, Indraha means we are talking about a deity or we are talking about a Devata. Who is Indra? We always hear this word called Indra Patavi, or Indra position, the sthana. Now the question is, who is Indra? Is he referring to a particular person? Is it a particular person who is called as Indra, or does it refer to something? As per the Shastras, if we go with the Vedas, Indra is a position, is a status. Anyone can come to the status. Say, for example, like Prime Minister, President, Chairman. Anyone can come from that post. Okay? That's why when you see or when you study the Puranas and throughout, some Indras are different. We always think, oh, this Indra has done something. So don't frame or the Indra means there is only one person who has lived and then he has done all this act. No. Different persons are being as in the Indra Patavi. So what happens? Their attitude, their character sometimes have demotivated or they have been depromoted and demoted from the position and they have been thrown out. So this has happened. This has happened in the Puranas also, which says that for us also an understanding and a remembrance, any position or a status, it's not permanent. The understanding here, the position or a status is not permanent. Because see, when you say Indra Patavi, that means it's very fame, right? It's just because it is going to give you the fame for you. Even that fame may not be the permanent one. So you can even lose that Indra Patavi. But now what we understand from this guna, Upa Indra, he was allied, he is supportive to Indra. Where was he supportive? Very good question. Everyone will be knowing a very good avataram which is called Vamana avatar. You're going to see the next name is Vamana. Now, in the Vamana avatara, to help the Indra to gain his own position, Vamana has taken that avatar. Okay. So Indra has lost his position because Mahali has come and taken those positions. He has conquered those positions. For your information, the Onam is also going to come. Onam is a representation of the Bali Chakravarti coming out from the Patala Lokam and he is coming and visiting the earth and then he wants to see how the Bhulokam is there and then he goes back. That is the Aithikam what we say. So that is basically to celebrate the Vamana. So Onam is one of the day where we celebrate about the Mahabali Chakravarti's sacrifice, what he has done. So that Bali Chakravarti, the same story, what has happened, the same Purana, the same reference, what we do, is that reference where we say that he has taken the Indra Padavi. So he has conquered because of the advice of the Tukracharya. So now to get back the Indra position, Lord Narayana has helped him through an avatar. So that's why we say he has helped the allied force. He has helped the main power. So that is called Indra. What is that? He is an allied, Upa Indra allied. In another place in the Vrindavan, when he came as a Krishna, he was even shown the superiority to Indra, saying that you, Indra, has to come down. You should not have the pride that you are the head of all the devas. So he was having that pride and ego in his mind, where he was saying that all the sacrifices and festivals and the Indra Vaibhavam has to be done to him. So he was always celebrating and he was having those celebration mood, and then he's saying that I'm the person who is celebrated highly even in the Vrindavan where Krishna is there. So that's what he wants to break it. So what he did, he told Indra is not the main person, one who is guiding from all these things, one who is helping our cattle to graze, take the grasses and all grazing the grasses and all those things are given by who? It is given by Govardhana Giri. So we have to pray to Govardhana, not to the Indra. So Lord Krishna, as a small child, he has given this verdict, and then everyone in the Vrindavan was a little bit shocked, and then but they understood that there is a logic what Krishna is saying, that they have seen his miracle right from the childhood, right from like two days toddler, they have seen him. 2 days infant, right? So he has killed the Bhudatna. So we know that. So from that day, they have seen all the miracles performed by him. So they just go with what Krishna is saying, and they agreed, and then they started praying to Govardhanagiri. But Indra got angry, and then he was downpouring rain the whole day. It was like raining, not only whole day, the whole week was rain. For a shelter, what he did, so it was flooded. So Vrindavan is flooded. For the shelter, what he did, the Govardhan Giri is still there. So Krishna lifted the Govardhan Giri in his own little finger, and then all the cattle and peoples were inside, and then they were safely, securely, comfortably placed by Krishna. And after the rain is all done, then he placed it. So that's where we say that we can always say the Govardhana Giridhari Murari Narayana Krishna. Now, what he has done here, he has shown that he is superior to Indra. So, two ways that we can understand. One is he was helping Indra, or he is an allied force for Indra. And number two, he is shown himself that he is superior to Indra. So, both the things connotes that Indra is a position. So, for the nature, say, if you understand the nature, if the nature is on its own way that it is working, for the own cause it is working, on the own performance it is performing, the dharma it is doing, then no problem for that. If it deviates from the dharma and it has its own way of showing its own pride or ego, whatever the nature is, even the nature can be checked by the Supreme. That is the understanding what we understand. So what is the guna what we are going to consider from him? From here is you are supposed to be helping. You are an allied force for dharma. You are an allied force for nature. Or you cannot be superior here. But what is the superiority here? What we can do is, only way that you can become superior is you have to go with go with the flow of the nature. If you are in the flow of a nature, what happens? Nature takes its own course, then you become the nature and you become the superior. So this is the way that we understand. So Upaindraha is called Upendra. Next one is called Vamana. This is what I was telling. So this word also represents, that this word also refers as one of the famous word in Ayurveda also called Vamanaha, Vamanati or Vamayati. Right? What is Vamayati? One who has been spit. One who has been spit or come out of his mouth. Right? One who's been thrown out of his mouth. So here what happens, the Bali Chakravarti was the one they are referring to under the Vamana Avatar. Vamana Avatar is the greatest Purana what we need to understand to show that the greatest of king, even though that person, but he wants to conquer everything, who wants to show that he can conquer even the nature. That is where even a small child like a toddler or a small child like a person can come and then can make you topple, make you subdue your powers, make you go down with your pride or ego. This is the real essence because you don't know. See, sometimes what happens, there could be a big chariot. So, this is what we understand, right? There could be a big chariot, but if you don't have the small axe for it, chariot won't run. Correct? It's a small thing, which is very important for the smooth running of that. Same way, for the smooth running of every operation, you may think it is a very trivial one, but that trivial one triggers you everything. Okay, I hope you get the point. So the trivial one may be a size of small, Vamana. The trivial one, what you see is a very small size, Vamana. But this trivial one, the absence of the trivial one, the absence of that small thing, what happens? The entire performance is not going to work. There is an English poem which I still remember vaguely, but I just want to say, for a want of a shoe, for want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the king was lost. For want of a king, the war was lost. For want of a war, the kingdom was lost. For want of a kingdom, the people was lost. See, everything goes because of a small thing. What is that? For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. Because the nail was not there, the shoe was not there. Shoe was not there, king was not prepared. When the king is not prepared, he cannot go to the war. If he cannot go to the war, he cannot win the war. If winning is not possible, then the war has been lost. When the war has been lost, the kingdom was lost. The kingdom was lost, the entire people were lost to the enemy. So it's a small, trivial thing which is a small nail. But if small nail is not been managed properly, then what is the idea what we can understand? That's what we say. Sometimes that small nail, what happens? It shows the entire picture of the entire kingdom here. So we can understand that the Vamana is a small child. But what he showed in front of Mahabali Chakravarti, when he came, he was a small balaka, right? When he came, he's a small balaka, he's a small Brahmin boy who is walking there. It's a 6-year-old boy with a small kutumi in his head, and then a small umbrella what he is carrying with the kamandula, and then he is walking there with the small feet. He is talking. See, Narayana's leaders are greatest one. So he is walking there. Mahabali is looking at him. Sukracharya smelt him that he is Paramatma. He says, Are, that is Vishnumurti. Be careful. Now see, Bali, in that pride, he was saying, even if it is a Vishnumurti, I should be happy that Vishnumurti has come to me to ask for something. So he was a little bit on that pride also, but that's the boon what he has got. So he was standing there and he was looking at Vamana, and then he was looking at the tejas of the Tejomaya of that boy, and then he was looking at the Veda Padashala boy, and he was standing. Then he said some Veda chanting, and then he said, Bhali, I know that you are conducting some yagam. Very good. For the Purti of that yaga, you have to give donations, charity. As a Vedic boy, as I am asking you, you have to give me 3 footsteps of. So Bali was very happy. He was looking at him and he knows his footsteps are very small, right? He was telling, why don't you take some land? I will give you. No, I will put my own footsteps and measurements and I will take it. But he told, why not? I can ask my own peoples to help you. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. But you just give me that dhana. And Mahabali was very happy and he was thinking, oh my God, with the small 3 steps, what he is going to measure, right? What he is going to measure. So here, at once he took the kamandula on the other side and he wants to do the dana. So the dana has to be with the pouring of a water and then it has to be offered, right? So then only you can do it. So when he is taking the kamandula, then also Sukracharya says, no, don't do that because he is Narayana, he is standing. And he tells, when I have given the word I want to give him, I am going to give. That's it. And then he starts pouring the water. The moment he started pouring the water in his hand, then he is seeing the Vamana, the growth, the boy who was standing in front of him as a small dwarf boy started growing. Still, he has not finished to fill his entire palm full of water. Then he could see the Vishwarupam of the Narayana, which is standing there. He said he took 1 foot and the entire 1 foot on the entire earth, and the another foot he took on to the sky side, and he put the entire foot on the sky, and he is standing like this with the 2 legs, one on the sky Akasha, one on the earth, and he is asking Mahabali, you told 3 feet of area what you will be giving. Where should I place my third feet? That is the understanding. What we know, if you can think it is a trivial thing, but that can be the biggest element in this universe. So we have to be very, very careful. So that's why there is nothing trivial here. Nothing trivial. So you have to be careful with each and everything. Pay attention and also pay humble service to everything in this nature. Don't think it is an ant. Don't think it is an insect. Don't think it is a butterfly. Don't think it is a small centipede, millipede, cuckoo, whatever it is. It is. It has a nature. It has a work. It has an impact that it has to create on this ecosystem. Without that, you are going to have a problem. So we need to have that. So don't think everything is trivial. Everything has a meaning for which, the purpose for which they have been serving. So if the absence of that trivial thing, what happens, you know how you will suffer. You know how you will suffer. Right? So we know, see, we have already damaged the ecosystem. What happens? Water resources are going down. Water level is going down. We started creating many things, right? Deforestations have started. Another thing, see, it's a small pitch of a fire. What happens? You can see the forest fire going everywhere, destroying hectares and hectares of the forest. So what we can understand what we do. So we can't. This is the problem because we think it's a small flame. But what happens? That can even destroy the entire forest. Now, still the wild forest fires are going on in some of the places. So we can understand. So Vamana, the understanding of Vamana is nothing trivial for us. Pram Suhu. This is a beautiful understanding. What is Pram Suhu? This Vamana, growth of Vamana, what is called as a Pram Suhu. Grown tall. Tall means the tallest. You cannot say, right? So we are debating which is the tallest building. Now they say there is something which has been built in Dubai that is called sky building, something like that. We are always debating. This is 62 feet. This is 118 floors, and so many things they are trying to build. So more than this, more than this, more than this. I would say only one, which is highest, which is the most highest one is the supreme. The tallest one, which has been shown to Mahabali by Vamana. So he is the highest, she is the tallest. Okay, so that is the understanding. So here this verse refers more about the Vamana Avatara here. The reference is more about Vamana Avatara. Amogaha. Amogaha. Right? So from Pramshuhu, Amogaha. One whose acts are not purposeless. See, sometimes we do something which are not purposeful also. Sometimes we think we are conducting or we are doing some action which is very purposeful, but it doesn't have any meaning at all. Many a time we do that, right? So we unnecessary politics, unnecessary chatting, unnecessary political things, unnecessarily we talk about something, chatting about something, gossiping about something. All these things are unnecessary. God, Bhagavan doesn't do all these things. He avoids all those things. Whatever he do, it's all with a purpose. There is no nothing you can say, oh, this act is unnecessary for you. So if you can read the Mahabharatam, Bhagavatam, Ramayanam, and then let me know in one small instance where you can say, oh, this act is not necessary for the Bhagavan to be done, and then that could be one of the things which we can study about and which we can debate, because I have never seen any of the Bhagavan's act towards these two itikasas. I have never seen that there is an act which is no purpose. Everything has a purpose. Everything has certain moral. Everything has got certain repercussions. Why he has done it, there is some idea, something behind it, why he has done. Okay. Only thing is maybe we didn't understand. That could be the reason why we can interpret in that. Shushihi, beautiful point. Shushihi. Shushihi means pure. The purest of purest. Already just now when we studied about the initial prayer, we studied about Pavitranam Pavitramyo. Right? Pavitranam Pavitramyo. One is purest of purest. One is pure of pure. Okay? He is never biased. That is the principle. He is never biased. In Vamanavatara, they say he was the brother. He was born as a brother to Indra for Aditi and Kashyapa in the Vamanavatara. Right? So if he was having that same connection or that same Runanabandha or all those things in his mind, when he was born as a Krishna, he should have shown that affinity, right? So he never showed that affinity. So he doesn't do anything. So for him, everything is neutral because he is very pure. So what he did? If you show your pride, I will slack you. Even for Balarama, I will tell you, even for his own brother, elder brother, Krishna's elder brother Balarama, he has put him check in many places. Krishna has put him check in many places. So when he understood the war was completed and Duryodhana, his own disciple, was killed in the war by Bhima by hitting on the thigh, which is not the correct process in having the Dvanta or the Gada Yutta. When they are fighting with the Gadas are supposed to hit only above the abdomen, not below the abdomen. So that is one of the war tactics or war strategy or war, what you can say, what formula for that, for the Gada Yutta. But the problem is each one has to tell where their weak point is. Bhima told the real weak point. What is his weak point is on his head. Duryodhana also told lie that his weak point is head, because except the thigh which is not been covered by the Gandhari's vision, all his portion of the body, all the portion of the body is full of Vajra. It's been highly protected, including his head. But he also lied in front of the people, because when they are doing, they have to declare their weak point and then they start fighting. So Bhima is getting hit and smashes on his head and he's getting tired and weak. But this guy is never tired. He is going on hitting because his real weakness is thigh. Krishna only know, and Krishna was initially trying to see that Bhima we will work on it, but he didn't do it. So he understood that the Bhima is almost going to be hit in the war. Then Krishna told, and he was slapping the lap of his own lap and say, Bhale Bhima, Bhale Bhima, Bhale Bhima. He was tapping his own lap on the thigh, and then he was saying, Bhale Bhima, Bhale Bhima, Bhale Bhima. Hint for Bhima that it is the thigh which is the weakness for him. Then he hit on the thigh and then he was killed. Now, when knowing this, see, Balarama went out, he was in the yatra and he came back. He went for Kshetranam. During the wartime, he was not there. So when he came back, he came to know that because Duryodhana was trained by Balarama. Who Balarama? Balarama is the elder brother of Krishna. So now Balarama is looking at the death of the Duryodhana. He was very angry. He took the Gada because he is very great in Gada, and then he wants to fight with Bhima, saying that Bhima, what you did is wrong. Come, let us fight. Now you see, this is the point where Krishna now goes and switches off the Balrama, saying that you were not there when the war started. And what right now you have to take a weapon and wage against Pandavas, first of all. You were not there. You were not a party. You didn't know what was the thing which is happening. You don't know what is the dharma, what is going on. You don't know what happened in the Dharma Kshetra, Yuddha Kshetra. So how do you all of a sudden, because it is your disciple who has died, then all of a sudden you're getting emotional and you want to hit the person who has killed him? What nyaya you have? Then Balarama left the Gada and he says, Krishna, you are the person who knows everything. See, this is what it is. Chuchihi, pure. He didn't have even the Runana Bandha. He knows how to switch off everyone. He knows how to control everything. Because he never had anything in his mind. Because whatever is dharmic, he was there with the dharma. But as the act of Krishna, you may think it is very strategically they are done. But sometimes you have to also be smart enough to work on the other side. That's why you have to cherish the knowledge of Krishna. Today, what you need in this today's corporate world, in this business world, in this excellent world of competition, who do you need? Who is very much appealing type of a person is Lord Krishna. Very much appealing. You can relate the war tactics done by Krishna to any business application. And you would see how realistically it is. Okay? So next one is called Urjitaha. Urjitaha means one who has immense strength, the Bhalam. One who has immense strength. So the Bhalam of these people, of these avatars, the Bhalam, we are not talking about the physical. Physically, yes, okay. But physical Bhalam is not the Bhalam. What is the real Bhala, what we mean? The real Bala is one who has controlled all the avayas, then he is considered to be the Balasali. What do you mean by avayas? One who has controlled his own indriyas. Then he is considered to be the Balam. Then he has what is called Atma Balam. One who has gained the Atma Balam. So Atma Balam is gained by who? By Lord Krishna. Yes. By Vamana. Yes. By Narayana. Yes. We can accept. By Rama. Of course. 100%. So it is very evident that they have lived with their own Atmic Balam. So you don't need a Balam of outside. You don't need a Balam of a physical way of showing it. A physical Balam can be only with your body level, and your age goes down and down and down. You are not going to be there. See, even the Arjuna was so Bhala, right? Arjuna was, you all know Arjuna was a great warrior. He toppled, or he was little bit shaken in the war front by seeing his own relation. What happened to his Bala? Physical Bala was hit by emotional Bala. Now, emotionally, when he was stuck, then he has to put his own bow and arrow, and he has to surrender. So now you see that even the great warrior has to bow down. So you cannot say that, you cannot challenge saying that I am the great. No. I am the Bahubali, or whatever you are going to claim, nothing is going to work. Next, another incident. He is in the forest. Okay, this is what happened. He is in the forest, he's running his chariot and he was going. And all of a sudden, that time he is hearing a news that Lord Krishna is no more. Arjuna was driving the chariot. Lord Krishna is no more. Think about it. Arjuna, all of a sudden, he stopped the chariot and he sat down in the chariot. What happened to your balam? Now, physically, your balam didn't work. Emotionally, your balam, mental stability didn't work. You can be stable for many things. When it comes to personally, when you have certain attack, you're done. You're ruined. You're toppled. Emotional balam. Also, you cannot say, I am inside, I am like a rock fellow. No. Now, what is very, very important? Atma balam. Right? Atma balam. When you have the Atma balam, what happens? That balam is the source for everything. That balam is the source for many things. And when you have that, no one can shake you like that. So that's what it's called urjita. Urjita. Atindriya. Ati indriya. Here also again they are reminding of superiority to the Indra. Here I want to refer the Chinmayananda's one of the point which say that Indra is referred to the mind and intellect. Okay, mind and intellect. He gives a beautiful understanding in here. He says Indra means mind and intellect. Okay, so you equate it to the mind or intellect. Now, Ati Indra, which is superior to Indra? What is superior to mind and intellect? Your Atma is superior to that. Your Atma is superior to this mind. Your mind can also be controlled by who? By Atma. Why? If it is a Samadhi, your mind and intellect can be shut down, can be in Samadhi silent. When you transcend, what happens? There is no mind. There is nothing in your mind, right? So your mind becomes zero. That is the main purpose of transcending, right? So the process of transcending is what? You take your mind from the turbulent mind level, from the outer level where you're more turbulent, to go silent, deep, 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 and then you're going to that deeper level where it is no thoughts. Less thought, less thought, less thought, less thought, no thought. That's the spot, a moment where you're going to hit. So that is greater than your mind and intellect. That's what he says. So, Ati Indraha, Samgraha, beautiful understanding. There are two understanding here from the word Samgraha. One is number one, he can be easily reached. You don't need any type of understanding for you to do certain pujas or anything to reach the Bhagavan. Bhagavan says he's always open. He's always ready. He's waiting for your words. Right? Sankraha. What do you mean by that? He's easily reached. You can reach him very easily. So if Swami says, take 10 steps, I will take 100 steps. He will come down. He's ready to come. The problem is, we are not even taking one step. That is where the problem is all about. The second understanding for the same word Sankraha means he who has everyone under his control. Very important. So Bhagavan holds the entire world under his own control. Holding everything together. That is what we say as Sangraha. So Sangaha means holding everything, associated, everything together. So relative, absolute, everything is true together, transient, everything together, transforming everything together. So that's where we are having all those things. Sometimes we get the mayas because of that also. Sangraha. Sargaha, creator of himself. One who has created everything. One who has created everything. The whole world came from him. And he is the primary creation, right? He is the primary creation. One who came out of. Dhrutatma. The supporter of all the Jivatma. He is called Dhrutatma. One who supports all the Jivatma. Birth, death, cycles, everything. Punarabi Jananam, Punarabi Maranam. Punarapi Janani Jatareshaya. So everything happens round and round and round, the cycle which is going on, everything under his control. Dhrutatma. Niyamaha, Yamaha, beautiful word. These two words are from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Yama, Niyama. So he has given 8 legs, right? So 8 limbs for yoga. The last one is Samadhi. What is it? What does it mean? Niyamaha, Yamaha. So Niyamaha means the controller. Yamaha means the ruler. Niyamaha means the controller, one who controls. So how does it mean by control? So here, when you refer to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, what does it mean? Niyamaha means discipline in your life. That is the control. Control is here. Okay, control is here in your mind. Control is in your mind. So Niyamaha means control. Niyamaha means discipline. The discipline which you impose. Not that you have to break the discipline. Remember that. So always when you have a discipline, you have to work with the discipline. When you have a rule, work with the rule. Not that you have an exception for that. So Yamaha, to have a discipline is nothing. See, sometimes we have an objective. What happens? We don't follow our own objectives, right? So every new year, there is a resolution what we pass. This year, I'm going to do Rama Japam for 25 minutes. First day you will do, second day, what do you say? You start compromising with the God. Arey God, I'm having duty. Okay. So my kid is asking me to go to some ice cream shop. I have to go and feed him with an ice cream or something because you yourself have given all the family. What did you say? Family first and the other thing. So my family is my duty. So what happens? This today I will do only 15 minutes, 10 minutes is off. So 25 instead of 25, take the 15 as 25 and equate it. So God has to proportionately make everything. So if you say one time he has to give you 10,000 million and gazillion dollars for you, right? He should be giving like whatever you do, he should be having a multiplier effect and he has to give you blessed with all those things. So that is always the negotiation what we always go with the God, right? So whenever it comes to puja, whenever it comes to the things like this, we are ready to compromise. We want to say that okay, whatever is shortest we can finish it. So if you're doing something, do it with half an hour, do it with 10 minutes, do it for 15 minutes. That is enough. Right? So anything you want to negotiate with the God, anything you want to negotiate with the Vedic mantras. So you don't want to negotiate with all the other things. So this is the reality what we are facing. You have a resolution, you don't want to do it. The next day itself, you break it. So from 15 minutes, it will go drastically go down and down and down, not even one single second. Within 10 days, the entire resolution is gone. And then what happens? The next year comes, the next year, new resolution will come. So you have a discipline, you have an objective, you have to make a rule to follow it. You create a law, you cannot be a law breaker. You can be a law creator, not the law breaker. So the law creator will also be punished when he breaks the law. This is the reality. Right? See, I'm the person who is drafting the criminal law. I'm a person who is drafting the Land Transfer Act and everything. Because I am the creator of the Land Transfer Act, I cannot do an act by which is beyond the scope of the law. Then I am answerable. All right? You understand this? So there is a rule. So when there is something created, where a discipline is being made, and I should be sticking on with the same rules and regulations. So that is why we need to have Yama, Niyama, beautifully said in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That's itself a 100% a beautiful lesson for us to understand Patanjali Yoga Sutra with 8 limbs, how each individual mentally have to work out for the Samadhi. Samadhi is not something physically there which is hanging there. Samadhi is your mental practice for which your indriyas have to be practicing it, and then slowly you have to work for it. So that is what the 8 limbs which has been given, not 8 level. Understand, it is not 8 level, it is 8 limbs. Okay, all 8 limbs are important. That's not chronological, or that is not like sequential. One finish, next you go, next finish, next you go. No. Simultaneously, you have to operate. Simultaneously, you have to operate. Clear? You have to put the switch. The moment you hit the switch has to flow with the electricity. Electricity go and hit the bulb, and everything should glow. It should be all simultaneously. Not one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. Think about that. So then it will be like a dragon life. Right? So this is what is called niyama yamaha. So all these are given in for us understanding. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Niyamas, Nididhyasanas, and all these things are for us to get clarity of the practice what we need to do. Okay, so the only thing is we have to search for all these literatures, try to understand the real meaning behind it, and then connect it with the process and the practical life what we are living, the practicality, how it is workable or not. Of course, they are definitely workable. There is nothing that Maharishis or great sayings which has given to us. The greatest knowledge what they have given is not nothing you can say that discard it. They are very much applicable for us. Everything is applicable for us. You have to work on it, which is, see, only the frequency might differ. Each one will have a different frequencies in which you operate. The level can be different. But that also the Vedas and Shastras are given us. The lot of way that we have to work, like Madhyama way that you have to work, slow, beginners, all these things they have given. So we have to grow with that. Intellectually, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, we have to grow with that so that we can reach the ultimate, which is basically our Narayana Parabrahma. So he can be like a small idol in front of you, like Vamana, but later he will be the Sarva Vyapi who will be everywhere for us. So that will take the moment of understanding that he is everywhere will not be so far. As long as we understand, we integrate him every day, every minute, every second in our thoughts, in our mind, in our intellect, in our emotion. Even if I don't know, sir, Rama, I don't know, Krishna, I don't know, just surrender, cry to him. Straight away say that Rama, Rama, I don't know. I'm just surrendering to you. That's it. I don't even know what is the meaning of surrender, but I still say that this word to you. You guide me. You guide me. So he will take you. I'm telling you 100%. With that, I just conclude here. Hari Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmana Va Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaye Samarpayami Yadakshara Pada Prashtam Matra Hinam Tu Yad Bhavet Tapsharvam Shamyadadheva Narayana Namostute Vishakgavindu Matrani Padabhadaksharaani Cha Nyunani Cha Tiriktani Cha Mashya Maheshwaraha अन्यदाचरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्षजनार्दन हरिः ओं तत्सत् इति श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषां को ब्राह्मणेभ्य शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम्।